You have a very good background in research, and I have many years in research as well. When we first started, research was fulfilling a certain function in the organization. How has research changed today? Is it still the research that we know?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I like to think that, and when I had my job at General Mills, I came to understand that the best way to allocate resources was to line up risk to rigor. So I do think that the most rigorous research is still being done today, and I was actually, steeped in experimental design in my background, and I think there's just amazing research that's going on today. I think it needs to be lined up to the most risky business decisions, the business decisions that have the largest dollars at stake. What has changed is when I started, it was, I have a question, let's do a test, right? And you'd go out and you'd ask consumers, and it'd be pencil and paper, it would be the mall, it would be the telephone. And with the advent of the internet and now mobile, social media, the opportunity for us to listen instead of ask, I think has been truly transformational in terms of the role of research. And in terms of speed, it has just completely changed night and day. So literally you do have access to be able to answer a question in real time versus where my background was kind of 6 weeks and $60,000, and we would wait to get the response back. So I think it's more incumbent on insight leaders today to identify the places where we need to take our time and apply rigor and get big sample sizes out and make sure that we have the kind of data quality that we need, and we have the very best designs to be able to help management make better decisions and represent the voice of the consumer. And then I equally think we need to be not afraid of quick dips to listen to the consumer and some of what's referred to as DIY, and there are certain business questions for which that's a perfectly good way to get 2 cents worth from the consumer, because that can actually be a decision-timed insight, which is what's needed.
Not to be a spoiler to what's coming up, but you mentioned big data playing a role in this year's Rethink. Does the ARF have a position on it? Do you see from the papers being presented a certain theme about big data?
Well, I mean, I think I've been saying data doesn't make decisions, people do. And I was actually challenged at we had 240 people at Facebook's offices at our San Francisco meeting, and I was challenged by Tom Davenport, who said, well, actually machines are making a lot of decisions these days, Gayle. And so we are coming forward, and we'll be bringing forward all different points of view about, machine-assisted decision making and the role of analytics in terms of making decisions, in terms of whether you go and dive into the analytics first or whether you actually design your frame and then dive in to figure out what the answer is going to be. And any number of those approaches can be right for a given situation. Flashing forward to June, we're actually going to be bringing forward this whole topic of programmatic buying, which is the ultimate in big data, right? And we're kind of looking at it as man versus machine, and is that a problem or a panacea? And so we're gonna, I'm gonna keep striving to bring out the biggest, most probably challenging and provocative topics that we have, and I'd say it's evolved from big data to the application of big data, and who's doing it well, and for me it's about what leaders are doing it well, and how can we take examples of that leadership and apply it to other people's jobs and help people build their careers.